Hi everybody, Shannon and Karen, and welcome back to the Appalachian Trail Museum series. Today we want to share with you what we think is an important part of the Appalachian Trail Museum, which is the history of where the museum is located. Guys, so you can see right behind us right here, that is the Appalachian Trail Museum. That is, or once was, a grist mill. Now you ask, why was a grist mill here? Well, this was a thriving iron ore community at one point in time, back in the 1800s. I think that the grist mill was built in the late 1700s.
They said it's over 200 years old.
Right. So that is why we want to discuss with you guys everything that's going on, had happened around here, around this grist mill, the importance of it, and the continued importance of it even now. So here is, it's pretty cool. They're the original buildings that are still in this area. You can see in this photograph, this is the old furnace right here. And if I pan back out here and show you, that's the furnace now. That's what's left. But that's what it was here at one point in time.
1883 it
Right,
says.
right. And then if you look back here, that is the Ironmaster's Inn and the Paymaster's headquarters. Is that correct?
The Paymaster's office, like cabin. That's
Right.
where they went to go get their paycheck every day. This is where the Ironmaster, that's
The
where
owner.
he lived,
Mhm.
right? So, which is now it's the hostel.
Yes,
for
it's
the Appalachian Trail,
right
in this
and
area.
It's pretty famous just for that reason. But we're going to show you some of the other buildings that are also famous in this area that are a part of the reason why this is such a fantastic place to have the Appalachian Trail Museum. All right, guys, so we're going to take you around to show you some of the buildings a little bit more closely so you can see them a little bit better, and the importance of why they're here now and what the role that they play in this particular state park and for the Appalachian Trail thru hikers, and of course the museum. All right, so if you look on this marquee that's sitting out front of the remnants of the iron ore furnace, that's what this was. And I'm going to pan up and show you what's left. There you go. That is what's left. And this whole community, the people around it, the grist mill, the Ironmaster's mansion, the Paymaster, this, everything revolved around this. All right, so what you see before you right now is called the Ironmaster's mansion. So it sits up here on this hill, and then over to this side of it, there's the Paymasters, and then right down from there is where the furnace is. All right, and I always thought it was kind of interesting in a lot of these types of areas that the Ironmaster's mansions were usually up on a hill. See, this is kind of sitting up, where it could look down on what was happening with their business. So you're saying to yourself, what does this building have to do with the Appalachian Trail Museum? Well, it now is a hostel for the Appalachian Trail thru hikers. All right, so this is the old Paymaster's office. Records of raw materials, furnace output, and workers' wages were kept here. So the employees worked 6 days a week, and Saturday was considered payday. So they would go up one set outside stairs to receive their pay, and then went back down the opposite side. So you can see, like they would go up one side, get their pay, and then come down. This particular building now, it at one point was a forestry service building, I think, and maybe a post office. It now has been renovated, I guess, and is fixed up so that you can rent it and stay there overnight, which I think is kind of cool. But anyhow, you can see behind you, there's Ironmaster's Inn, Paymaster quarters, and then over to the right, we're going to be taking a look at the Pine Grove Furnace store. And so this building across the street is the Pine Grove Furnace General Store. And what does that have to do with anything as far as the Appalachian Trail Museum is concerned? This is the location of the half-gallon challenge. The importance of that is like a rite of passage, a tradition for any AT thru hiker to come here and eat a half-gallon of ice cream. But anyhow, this is a really cool old building. I'm going to take you around to look at it. So this was an old mule stable. Love all the stonework, beautiful. And then out here, if you're an Appalachian Trail thru hiker, this is where you would bring your ice cream and and do the half-gallon challenge.
All right, so this is the hiker box outside of the general store. The half-gallon challenge. So if you look, they've got a little bit of everything in there that you might need, but
There's the
this
log.
is what you want to see, the half-gallon challenge log. So there you go.
All right, so this is the 2020 log.
Well, I hate myself right now.
This sucked.
Yeah. My God, this was terrible.
Now, in front of the store is a billboard, and it will give you some information on anything that's happening around here. Some of the rules and regulations, some info, and the Appalachian Trail Museum events, which this one's coming up, and I'm looking forward to that. That sounds really interesting. Okay, so again, all of these really fantastic buildings around us, these old buildings, represent the Appalachian Trail community in one way or another. The general store behind you is the half-gallon challenge. The Ironmaster's Inn being a hostel for the AT thru hikers. And then, right in front of us, and I'm going to turn you around, that's the Grist Mill. That's the Appalachian Trail Museum. And again, was a big part of this community. Starting in the late 1700s, provided food for the entire community. There were about 5 farms that they utilized and processed through food to feed the families that worked here back then. So anyhow, that is the history behind the Appalachian Trail Museum. This photograph right here, as I said, the mill was all sorts of things. This is when it was a private residence. And this is the old store. Look at this car. Kind of tells you when this was taken. Okay, so again, the locals around here, the people who volunteer their time here in the museum, a lot of knowledge going on here. If you have questions, you want to learn something about the history of the Appalachian Trail, the future of the trail, anything about the Appalachian Trail, this is the place to be. And what a fantastic central location right here in the middle of the Appalachian Trail.
Right. Here's the AT. There's the museum, and like Karen said, the volunteers in the museum, the manager of the museum, the innkeeper at the hostel, the staff in the general store. These are locals, and these are people that love it. This is the community that we're referring to. Right. There's so much love for this trail in this community. It's fantastic.
Right. So again, guys, we appreciate you wandering out yonder with us in our Appalachian Trail Museum series. We are just thrilled again to be able to do this and share all this information with you. So again, this was really just a history tour, kind of, to give you an idea of where the museum is and the story behind it and what's around it, which we think is just super interesting.
Absolutely. So stay tuned, because the Appalachian Trail stuff, as promised, is coming.
All right. We'll see you later. Bye.
So this is the only place that you are going to find on the entire Appalachian Trail that they actually encourage you to feed the wildlife. This is the donation box outside of the AT Museum, and we encourage you to feed the bear.